Hey guys and girls, it's FoxGreen back here again today with a really interesting review video. And this one is for all you Stargate, Counter-Strike and Modern Warfare 3 fans, because today we'll be looking at the Novritsch SSR90. Now, I have to admit, I was never drawn to the SSR90's form factor before, but it's really grown on me since I got my hands on this. Now, this is going to be an extremely detailed review video, but I'm just going to go straight to the point. This is the best gun Novritsch has ever made, in my opinion. And you're going to find out exactly why. This is actually a speed softer's dream. It's so fast. And the trigger response is insanely good. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on into the review video. So I'm going to cover the following topics in this: the externals, internals, functionality, programming. I'm going to talk about accuracy, shooting. I'm going to chrono it. I'm going to show you the rate of fire. I'm going to do so much more. And then I'm going to say what I don't like about it. And, you know, I'm also going to compare this to the facts that I know of the other version of this that's out there, which is the Crytek, and which one is better. First of all, I think we're going to start with the externals. So as you can see here, there's a modular aluminium receiver, which is really nice. It's really well CNC'd. This can obviously come off as well, and you can make it a more lower down profile. We also have a fiber reinforced nylon body, which is really good. Now in the Crytek version, that's a polymer version, so this is a bit of an upgrade, all right. The trigger here is modular and it's flat, so it can be removed. And the cool thing is, there's actually going to be color accessories coming out for this gun as well, like you might have seen on Novritsch's SSP18 and AEP18. So that's going to be really cool. So this is going to be a really cool customizable gun. Now at the minute, there's only a few of these guns gone around to influencers. Trust me guys, they're the same guns that you're getting. They all come off the same assembly line. So there's no difference with this gun. It's just basically exactly what you're going to get. The only difference is that Novritsch said, when he sent me this, is that this actual magazine is going to be more transparent. Now it's actually pretty transparent, so the mags are just going to be a little bit more transparent than this one already is, but this is actually pretty good. I don't know if you can see that there, it's probably hard in that light, but yeah, it really works good. Now this mag works flawlessly, no feed issues. I've not ran into any issues with it feeding. It's a 100 round mag, but they are working on 180 round mags, which they're prototyping, so they will be coming out eventually. But 100 rounds is really nice capacity. One thing to note, which is really useful, is don't just push the mag down. That's not locked in. See, it'll come off. So when you push it down, you got to pull back the tabs and then push it down. Now it's completely secure. I know a lot of people are not going to do that when they get this gun. So remember, pull it down, pull back the tabs, and then you hear it click in. That's the way to secure it, and you'll have no feed issues like that. As you can see here, it's got QD sling points both sides. It's fully ambidextrous, so there's your switch for shooting. So safe. You got semi-auto, which is just locked to semi-auto no matter how hard you pull the trigger. But if you go in the full auto version, you can also do semi. But when you pull it all the way to the rear, because it's a dual stage trigger, it'll do full auto. But look how fast that trigger is. Let me show you. Really good. Obviously you can see it's got one Picatinny rail up top and it's got M-LOK rails on the sides. This is an extension piece which won't come with the gun, but you can mount things like your scope cameras up here, which is where I'll be running it. So the length of this gun overall is 50 centimeters. Now that's excluding the silencer, and it's about 1.9 kilos in weight. So it's actually kind of heavy. It's kind of a heavy gun, but because all that's back here, like an SRS, you don't really feel it. So it's super compact. Like, this thing is really good for clearing buildings. And as I said, it's going to be a speed softer's absolute dream gun. The butt plate, as I said, is rubberized, and Novritsch wanted me to tell you guys this, that most P90s, it slides off the butt plate, but not in Novritsch's one. It's rubberized, and if you did that to this, you might actually break it. So if you do get this gun, what you do is you just push in the side, you pinch it, and it comes up like that. Put it back on, you put it in the grooves and then you pinch it back in the opposite way around. So there you go. I don't actually like that. I think the butt pad is one of the things that they should probably do a bit better. But anyway, it's fine. And the good thing about Novritsch is you can buy a new one. Like all his guns, they come with every single part and loads of accessories built for the gun. That's something you don't actually get in most airsoft guns. But when Novritsch builds a gun, you have every single part you could ever want in case something went wrong. And you've actual lasers, silencers, and everything made specific for that gun. So that covers the externals. Now let's talk about the internals. So this gun, in my opinion, guys and girls, has an awful lot over the Crytek because this is fully upgraded on the inside. Now, this gun costs 399 euros, right? The Crytek is, I think it's 440 euros. But also, just to mention, the mags in this are going to be 13 euro for 100 round, 15 euro for 180 round. Crytek mags are 40 quid, right? 40 quid each. So, yeah, this is much better value for money. But inside, right, we're sporting a lot of cool things. So first thing notice is it got a Type bore barrel, right, a 6.03, and it's got a custom maple leaf flat bucking. So this is flat hopped straight out of the box, which is extremely, extremely nice. The performance and accuracy is top notch. And because it's flat hopped, it means like you're not gonna have any dual creep when you change the way BBs you run in this thing. But I was able to lift 0.4 gram BBs with this, no problem. And I could have probably went to 4/8, and that's with 1 joule. So the cylinder and the piston head are aluminium, again, CNC aluminium, really, really high durability. It's got a 14:1 gear ratio. Now in the Crytek, it's got 81. That means this thing can shoot faster. And as a result, with 11.1 LiPo, you should get 25 rounds a second, which, to be honest, you definitely do. So this shoots faster than a Crytek, which gets you about 20 rounds per second. So this is coming out on top. Now I know I mentioned the bucking, but the hop-up itself is a CNC rotary type design, and it's aluminium, so it's really well built. It's actually such a nice hop-up. To take the gun apart, actually, which I won't do because YouTube doesn't like, you just press this button and the front slides off and you can adjust the hop-up. It's really, really simple. Now the spring in this, you take the butt plate off, which is rubberized, and it's a quick spring change. So you can literally twist it and pull out the spring and change it. Now this gun, I've got it in my 1 joule configuration, but you can run it up to 1.6 joules, so it's made for that. So that's really, really nice. The battery compartment back here is really large, so it'll take really big nunchuck batteries and all that. And it's actually wired to DINs out of the box. So really, really good. Like that's brilliant. So much better trigger performance and as a result. Now the custom maple leaf bucking that's in there is a yellow 60-degree one. So that's really good. And I had certainly no issues lifting BBs outside of all different weights with that. One thing to mention also on externals is this gun is fully licensed by FN Herschel. So that's really cool. That's something Novritsch just dropped really last minute. So it's got all the realistic markings on this, which is really, really nice. The barrel is also threaded, so you can obviously, as you can see here, fit your suppressors or tracer units. So that's really nice out of the box. The motor in this is an extremely high torque motor. It's a 24K high torque motor with neodymium magnets, so it's really high quality. Now, instead of 8mm bearings also in this gearbox, there is 8mm bushings, which are just better for wear, so it should last a bit longer, but also it'll keep up with that high torque motor and ensure that no damage comes to it. The gears are actual steel gears as well, so the gearbox is fully upgraded. Like, you won't get that in the Crytek. So for less money, you're getting a gun that has all the upgrades that you would normally do yourself to make a high performing gun. So I mean, you can't argue with the internals, they're really top notch. So now that we're done talking about the externals, we're going to move on to the functionality and programming, because this gun has a programmable trigger unit, which is really, really cool. So first of all, functionality. As I showed you earlier, releasing the mag is very simple. You pull back both these. It can be done at one hand and it comes out. Putting it back in, you can click it down, but you have to pull these back actually to get it to sit in properly. A little bit annoying, but if you don't, if you don't and you just put it in like this, you'll actually get misfeeds. So just pull the wings back and you'll see it sits fully down and it won't come out. Now, whereas if you put it in and you don't pull back the tabs, look, it'll come out again. So you know it's in right when you pull back these and it clicks. There's a charge handle here. It doesn't do anything, guys. It's just for show. There's no stop on empty function in this gun, right? So it'll keep shooting even when there's no BBs in it like this. As you can see here, I've got my safe. That's safe. I've got semi, and I got auto, which will also do semi, but when you pull it right back, it goes full auto. To adjust the hop up, you just have to take the mag off. You press this button and the front comes off, and you can actually twist the hop up to adjust it. Really simple and really actually quick to do in the field, surprisingly. That is the main functionalities of it. So now we're going to move on to the programming. So there's 3 different things you can program in this gun. There's a binary trigger, there's burst fire, and there's also pre-cocking. So the binary basically means that when you pull the trigger it shoots, but when you let go it shoots as well. Now I don't have it set, but I'm going to put up a little cheat sheet on the screen so you can program all these different functionalities into your gun. But I'm actually going to do one here for example. I'm going to program in the binary trigger. So to do that I have to switch to semi-automatic. And the first thing then I have to do is pull the trigger and hold it till it beeps. Hear that? So it does 2 beeps. Now you'll notice it'll do single beep, double beep and a triple beep. That's to get into the different menus. So I want to do binary trigger, so I need to confirm it once it does 1 beep. So I need to wait till it goes back to the 1 beep. That's 3. That's 1 beep. Hold them to confirm. Now it'll do 1 beep for not binary and 2 beeps for binary. That's 1. Binary, 2, hold and confirm. And now that should be binary trigger programmed. There you go. And look how fast you can shoot with binary trigger. This is semi, like. My God. Insane. So if I want to get that off again, I'm gonna hold to go back into the programming mode. Okay, it's in. 1 beep, confirm. 1 beep, confirm. And now it should be back to semi. There you go. So super fast in the field, you can program this gun. You can do burst on semi or burst on full auto or whatever. So you can change all the different modes to different things. I have pre-cocking sets. So for those of you who don't know what pre-cocking is basically where the motor is wound and the spring is already compressed. So when you touch the trigger, it's like a sniper rifle. It just releases the shot. But there's 5 different stages. So 1 is the least wound, and 5 is really wound, right? So it just means when you fire that first shot, it'll get out of that barrel super quick, way quicker than most guns out there. So the only thing I would say is when you're done for the day, I would turn that off to leave the spring relaxed again. So pre-cocking is really good, but make sure, I would personally turn it off at the end of the day. Mine is set to a level 3. It's nice, it's kind of in the middle. So now we're gonna go outside and we're gonna show you the chrono test, and we're also gonna show you the rate of fire with different batteries, etc. So now we're going to go outside and we're going to do the chrono test, and we're also going to shoot the gun, show you how it performs, how that bucking performs, sending those heavyweight BBs out there, and also just the rate of fire with different batteries like 7.4 volt and 11.1 volt batteries. Okay, now for the chrono test. I'm going to chrono this with 0.28 gram BBs, which are the recommended weight for 1 joule. And I'm going to be looking at the joules. This is meant to be less than 1 joule, so let's just see what it comes in at. 0.981, 0.962, 0.963, 0.969. Okay, that's really consistent. That's very, very good, and it's bang on under 1 joule. So now we're going to check for joule creep. I suspect this won't have joule creep because it has a custom flat bucking in there, and flat buckings tend not to have jewel creep. So I'm going to use 0.32 gram BBs and let's see what happens with the jewels. Okay, so now I got it set to 0.32 gram BBs. So let's see if jewel creep kicks in at all. 0.959, 0.965, 0.959. So there you have it. It's really consistent and it's not jewel creeping. So this is a really good gun and the flat hop is doing its job, hopping those BBs and keeping the jewels consistent. So as you can see, the gun shoots really well. It's really consistent. It's right in the right ballpark out of the box jewel wise, which is really sweet. And anyway, as I said, you can change out the spring super fast in this gun. So it's really not that bad. If you want more power, you can bring it up to 1.6 joules, no issue. So here we are, outside finally with the SSR90 to show you guys and girls how this thing shoots, the rate of fire, and what the hop-up trajectory looks like with this flat bucking in here. So let's get started. Eyewear. Big mag. Nice. Okay, so we're on auto setting, but I can go single or full auto with that. So let's just try this out. Full auto. That's crazy. So hopefully you can see how good the hop up is from that example. Now, those BBs I was shooting there were 0.32 gram BBs and they were shooting very flat. I had so much more adjustment. I have actually tested this all the way up to 0.4s at 1 joule, and let me tell you, it lifts them no problem. Personally, I would go with 0.28s to 0.32s and stick around that ballpark. I wouldn't go any lighter. This gun's hop up is too good, so you really need to make good use of that. So now we're going to move on and test the rate of fire of this bad boy and also chrono it. Okay, so now I've swapped out the battery to 7.4 volt, and this is purely to show you the rate of fire between the two. I'm gonna then swap over to 11.1 volt, just so you can get a feel for the difference the battery makes the rate of fire. Obviously this gun's internals can handle 11.1, no issue at all. So let's see how that sounds. This is 7.4 volt. Slow, kind of slow, but not bad. About a typical AEG out of the box would sound. Okay, 11.1 going in. Okay, no need to put the back on. Let's see what this sounds like. See the difference? And most stock guns can't handle 11.1. This, because it's pre-upgraded, no problemo. I'm sorry I couldn't show you the actual shots per second because my chronograph for some reason wouldn't do it. It just was acting up. But you can see the difference anyway between the different batteries. And yeah, I definitely think this thing is hitting the 25 rounds per second that it claims. So now we're going to move over to the accuracy test. So we all want to see how this thing performs, how good it is. Obviously in CQB it doesn't need to be crazy accurate, but let's see how this thing performs. Okay, so I just want to point out before we start this accuracy test how small this is. So you can see there, this is a 5 cent coin and it's actually quite a bit larger than a bullseye. So we're going to see what kind of grouping this does. They mightn't necessarily group on this dot, they might group somewhere, but once the group is tight, we know it's a very accurate gun. So let's get on to shooting. Okay, so I'm going to use this on semi-automatic. Again, these are 0.32 gram BBs, and I'm just going to take my time and see how this gun groups. Okay, so as you can see, really good results there at 10 meters. That's very, very tight. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Now I'm using a red dot. If I was using a scope and I was more zoomed in on this, I'd probably be a bit more accurate. So I think this gun is actually capable of even better accuracy. It's just that this little dot looks quite small back there with a red dot. My red dot nearly takes up the whole circle. So yeah, but not too bad. That's really good. That's exactly what you expect from a Type bore barrel, so really nice work.
Time for a little bit of full auto fun. Let's draw a circle around that circle.
So surprisingly, as you can see there, the Type bore barrel that's in this is doing a really good job, and that grouping was really tiny at 10 meters. So yeah, I think this thing is plenty accurate. You'll take people's hands off and heads off, you know, 20-30 meters, no bother, this thing is going to hit it. So for CQB, unbelievable, but for outdoor shooting, perfect as well. And because it can reach out there, like, yeah, you can. This is an all-rounder, guys. You can use it anywhere. Okay, so what would I change about this gun? Yeah, so definitely there is one thing I would change, and that's the butt pad. As I said, so I guarantee people are going to break it because they're going to try and slide it off or pull it off. I just think it's a bit of a pain that you have to push it in, push it out. It doesn't really, I don't know, it just feels like it might come off someday and get lost. But look, it's a minor thing, so I'm not that worried about it. Only other thing then as well that I'm not a fan of is just that, you know, if you push the mag down like that, it doesn't seat properly, but you actually have to pull the tabs back to get it to lock down. That's a little bit annoying, but it's not a major gripe. It just means the reloading is slightly slower. The other thing that's kind of annoying as well is that you have obviously the QD mounts. It doesn't come with the QD part now, right? It just comes with this. But what's annoying is there's none up front. There's just one either side, which I think is a bit strange, right? So you can, Novritsch does sell an M-lock QD mount, so you could put another one up here so you could sling it properly. It's a minor little gripe, but I suppose that is technically how the MP90 is in real life. So, but I just think it's a little bit annoying for putting a sling on and whatnot. So, guys and girls, my conclusion. Well, I think it's quite obvious from my review that this thing is pretty special. And as I said at the start of this video, this is, in my opinion, the best gun Novritsch has made to date. And I never thought he would make an AEG like this, to be quite honest. The performance is crazy. I've really well upgraded Toki Marui's. Hundreds of euros of parts gone into them, and this thing actually just outperforms them. So it's crazy. I am really blown away. Actually, when this came out, I wasn't that interested in it. I'm not a big AEG person, but now that I have it, I can safely say you're going to see a lot of videos with this. I really can't fault its performance. It's really sweet. And over the Crytek, yeah, I'd be taking this all day long. As you know, it's cheaper. The mags are way cheaper, and it's fully upgraded inside. Crytek, you won't get a precision barrel. You won't get a CNC hop up. You don't get a flat bucking or a Maple Leaf custom bucking for that. So, you know, this has got a lot of advantage over. It's got the hardened gears in there, etc. Crytek doesn't have any of that, and better gear ratios. So, like, it's just ready to rock, you know? You don't have to do anything to this gun. Anyone does anything to this gun, it's ridiculous. You don't have to do anything. So, it's really good MOSFET in it, which is essential as well. So yeah, this is the speed softer's dream, or anyone that just wants a really high performing gun that's mid-range in terms of price. This is the gun for you. So if you want to know where to get this, guys, there's a link in my video description below. If you buy it through that, you're obviously helping me out, so I'd really appreciate the support. And if you like this video, guys and girls, please give a like, subscribe, and hit that notifications button, and tell me what you thought. What did I miss, or what you like about it, and even, are you getting one? What are you doing? So yeah, guys and girls, thank you for watching. I'm FoxGreen, and I'll see you guys soon.